If you could change one thing in the world, what would it be? I want you all to really take a moment and think hard about this question. The answer to this question defines many things. It defines our thoughts, our values, our jobs, and our livelihoods. But more importantly, it defines the world we live in and the world our future generations will live in. Now imagine that anything is possible. Allow your mind to dream, let go of constraints, and think big. Start with what if and fill in the blanks. The truth of the matter is that most people go through life without ever thinking about this profound question. Now more than ever, our world is facing an incredibly tough reality. We're dealing with a global pandemic, hunger, obesity, social injustice, inequality, poverty, climate change, to name just a few. My name is Misha, and as an adjunct professor at UCLA Extension, I've asked hundreds of students representing more than 50 countries around the world this same question. If you could change one thing in the world, what would it be? When I share the statistics about 1 billion people being hungry in the world and 2 billion people eating too much wrong food, the staggering rate of childhood obesity that I reported on as a consultant at the World Health Organization, or the story of a 5-year-old girl called Cheru from Kenya, who needs to walk 4 miles for 3.5 hours with her mother to get clean water. I see my students' faces filled with panic and grief. But I also see hope, ideas, courage, and a sense of pursuing justice. At the end of the quarter, each and every one of my students had found a problem in the world that not only would better their own life if they solved it, but also the lives of individuals, families, communities, and the environment around them. And that's when I realized that our youth is aware of relevant issues that affect them and the world around them, but they wonder how to go about solving those issues. This talk is not about generating immediate solutions for these problems, nor do I want to undermine the complexity of these matters. I am simply here today because I want to do my part in empowering you, our youth, our change makers of the future, to solve the world's most pressing problems. That's where social impact comes in. Social impact is defined as any significant positive change that addresses a pressing social challenge. This can be in any shape or form, whether it's a business, a government, a non-governmental organization, a nonprofit, or even a school project. If you've ever been involved in sustainability, you may have heard of the 3 Ps, also referred to as the 3 Es, or the triple bottom line framework. This framework focuses not only on making profit, but also improving people's lives and improving the planet we all live on. The triple bottom line term was coined in 1994 by John Elkington, a management consultant who used this framework to measure performance in corporate America. Today, this concept is still widely used and implemented, and many experts have actually added a 4th P to the equation, called purpose. Interestingly, society has uniquely positioned youth as the change makers of our future. We give them the role to renew and refresh the status of our society, and we expect them to advance the current health situation, technology, education, politics, and much more. Let's face it, we're in desperate need of their ideas, their courage, their creativity, innovation, and their great energy to shape a better world. Luckily, the research shows that millennials in the workplace want to feel meaning and purpose in their lives, and 94% of them report that they want to use their skills to benefit a cause. I can personally attest to this as I packed up my bags and moved from my home in the Netherlands to my new home in Los Angeles to pursue purpose and growth. And then I became the first student in UCLA Extension Sustainability Program who became an instructor in the program. Because I wanted my career to benefit a cause, and that was education. And I can say that teaching is among the most rewarding things I do. Very similarly, 65% of Gen Z, which is the generation of teenagers and young adults, want to personally contribute to creating something that is world-changing. They don't want to work for companies where the pursuit of the almighty dollar is the only outcome. They want more. And it's not just them. 53% of consumers think that brands could be addressing more problems than governments can. And 86% of consumers expect companies to do something about social and environmental problems. So our youth wants to change the world, and our society wants them to change the world. So you think we're in a win-win situation? Well, almost. Although some high schools, colleges, and business schools provide community-based projects, volunteer opportunities, and social impact programs and curriculum, it has not been adopted widely yet. So here's my question for you. Who is teaching our youth the necessary knowledge, mindset, and practical skills to achieve social impact? Why aren't we providing them with the tools they need to feel more fulfilled with their lives and careers while bettering the world for all of us? Why aren't we planting the seeds earlier on? Are we expecting them to learn about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals on their own? Will they magically do a Google search to find a blueprint consisting of 17 interlinked goals that are designed to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all by 2030? And how do we set up our youth to be social entrepreneurs who understand economics as well as the science behind sustainability and equity to empower marginalized, underserved communities? Are we teaching our youth about different types of companies, such as B corporations, that not only focus on financial profit, but also look at how the company treats people and the planet? How are we teaching our youth about heroes, and how are we connecting them with mentors in the social impact space? Being confronted with all these questions became a turning point for me in my career as someone who had worked a decade at the intersection of digital marketing, social impact, and sustainability. I propose a need to integrate social impact into the educational system to better prepare our future leaders to drive social and environmental change. And I want to share my self-developed framework with you today. This is what I call the EGI curriculum model. This model focuses on project-based learning around a specific social or environmental issue that students handpick and are passionate about. There are 3 pillars in the framework: the E for empower, the G for grow, and the I for impact. Let's review the first pillar. In order to empower students, we need to create a safe and inclusive learning space. Everyone has a voice, and everyone's voice should be heard. Secondly, we need to encourage critical thinking. We want our youth to question the status quo, and we want to help them unleash their curiosity to learn more about the world around them. We also need to help them discover their why. I suggest developing a purpose discovery lab to dig deeper into their personal aspirations as well as their future goals. Last but not least, we need to provide an educational toolkit that focuses on real-life application rather than theoretical concepts that won't help them get to that next stage of mastering concepts and growth. This brings us to the second pillar of the EGI model. What if you could learn how to grow into a more powerful mindset? Would you take that class? Dr. Carol Dweck of Stanford University studied human motivation and talked about the power of mindset nearly 30 years ago. She discusses two main mindsets we can navigate a life with: a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Her theory of the two mindsets and the difference they make in outcomes is incredibly powerful. In a fixed mindset, you don't like to be challenged, and you see failure as a limit of your abilities. Adopt a growth mindset, and you will find that challenges help you grow, and that failure is an opportunity to grow as well. See how our view of ourselves can determine everything. I advocate for education and training around the topic of mindset. Having a growth mindset is essential for success, not only for an individual, but also for people, planet, and profit. It's a win-win-win situation. So once we've helped unleash the growth mindset, we dive into the four main topics of our growth pillar. We want our students to laser focus on one social or environmental challenge. Oftentimes, I encounter students who want to focus their projects on solving multiple issues in different regions. Unfortunately, we can't solve all problems for everyone. Instead, targeting a specific challenge will prove more impactful in the long run. Secondly, we want to facilitate breakout sessions. We want to facilitate peer-to-peer discussions. A scientific study showed that peer discussion improves student performance on in-class concept questions. We want to make sure that students are also able to receive and provide constructive feedback. The benefits of feedback include increased confidence, motivation, and self-esteem. And these are all traits that are needed for someone who leads the way to a better future for all. Finally, we want to make sure we give them an opportunity to network and connect with industry mentors. Behind every successful person, there is a mentor who cared. I've been blessed with mentors along my way, and I'm a mentor in several programs. It's a privilege to discover our youth's drive for change and social impact in the world and help them grow. In our third and final pillar, we look at the impact of our actions. First, we want to empower youth to present their projects and step outside of their comfort zone when they're acquiring those communication and presentation skills. We want them to be able to effectively persuade an audience. Very similar to giving a TEDx talk, we need to help them hone skills and present to different audiences. Being able to speak the language of a business person, an engineer, a sustainability expert, or members of the target population we're serving with our idea is the key to getting your impact message across. Thirdly, we want to raise awareness through social media. As you all undoubtedly know, Social media has become fundamental in our lives and in the way that billions of people get information about the world and connect with each other. This raises the stakes enormously. We can use the power of social media to amplify causes, raise money, and tell the stories. We can run ads for a fundraising campaign and do so much more. The possibilities of digital marketing are really endless. Also, we want to get organizations involved with the project. There are so many organizations out there that are doing great work. Sometimes it's not about reinventing the wheel, but partnering up with the right stakeholders. The important thing to remember is that we're all in this together. Instead of competing, we need to collaborate. We need to work together and grow together. Finally, in order to make an impact, we need to help our youth become a champion for the cause. You can become an internal change maker in any type of organizational role you're in, cheering on others who are in it with us, and make decisions if you're part of the decision-making team. The key takeaway is that social impact education can empower, grow, and impact our youth to drive change. We can help our youth grow, and in turn they can help grow our purpose, people, planet, and profit for a better world. However, let's not forget that our role as educators, as well as students, is just the tip of the iceberg. Anyone can get involved in the social revolution in any capacity. You can be the change. You can be the one who pursues impact as part of your business. You can be the one who shifts your business model. You can be an organization Gen Z wants to work for. Value their commitment to the cause. Each and every one of us can create opportunities for innovation, change, and inclusion in our own lives, our workplace, and our community. Why now? Because our world needs it. Why you? Because your growth can impact our world. As the wise Mahatma Gandhi once said, in a gentle way, you can shake the world. Thank you.